Number Resource Society is campaigning to revamp APNIC by adopting community-led, bottom-up governance and to seize control of APNIC with every member's interest in mind, to ensure that the community voice is heard loud and clear. NRS believes that our core strength grows from the community that we represent. We believe in a free, fair and transparent election where all members across the continent are given the right to contest, vote and ultimately have a say in electing whoever represents them. NRS firmly believes that APNIC, like any other RIR, shall operate as an organisation that works through a bottom-up system of accountability, where its grassroots members are being consulted and made involved in the discussion and the decision-making process. In other words, an organisation where all members are allowed to participate equally in formulating policies and strategies, and no one shall be left behind. Taking back control. For too long, one might start noticing that APNIC has been deviating from its original proper course in serving the members of Asia Pacific's region. Over the years, to the extent that one might have the impression that APNIC is being abused by a certain group of individuals with vested interests. Be it utilising APNIC as their personal vehicle to try to enrich themselves or to stifle innovation, competition and engagement, and it also appears that the power is all under one man's control. APNIC seems to fall under one man's control, Paul Wilson. It is managed by only one director sitting on board, made answerable to only one shareholder with only one amount of shares allotted and paid up, all assisted by one secretary, and that one person is none other than Paul Byron Wilson, the man himself. Such a statement can be further verified from the company extract, and it's all publicly available on the Australian Businesses Registers portal and Australian Securities and Investment Commission's database. As one of the world's 5 regional internet registries, it does not appear to be democratic, and it may give a negative perception to the public that APNIC is owned by only one person. While the observations we gather are far from casting aspersions as to the impartiality and legitimacy of a one-man show company being entrusted with such a large responsibility in championing the interests of all users within the Asia-Pacific internet region, one can't help but to question, why would such an organisation, which self-proclaims to be a non-profit one, decide apparently to be solely run by a single man, clearly with vested interest, with no obvious and proper checks and balances in place? This ownership interest of the internet in the region being held by one man, even with the so-called trust on top of it, for what may appear to be a form of dictatorship. Kind of ruling like that. It's potentially damaging and disadvantageous to the future progress of the internet, not just in the Asia Pacific, but all over the world. The profit-making structure of APNIC must stop, and together we can all put a halt to this. That's why Number Resource Society is hoping to steer things back on track and assert new changes and structural reforms into the system by endorsing fresh faces and injecting new blood into the organisation with the end goal in mind to regain control and seize power of APNIC for its members, to make it great and whole again, and to make it a reliable and trusted organisation that members can trust and rely upon. Returning to a bottom-up approach to policy making and engagement at APNIC will result in better engagement for all members and will lead to greater transparency. This will result in the better democratisation of APNIC and in turn better public perception of APNIC and stronger confidence in APNIC from all the stakeholders. Your candidates. Number Resource Society are endorsing independent candidates from across the continent with a wide range of experience and skills. Each one supports 7 simple pledges. NRS's endorsed candidates pledge to you to reduce membership fees by 30%, reaffirm community-led spirit with one world, one internet. Being a strong voice for businesses, restructuring APNIC operation, and ensuring the effective team of APNIC are held accountable to members. A free market where businesses are free to run unhindered, and reincorporating APNIC with relocation to Singapore and make APNIC carbon neutral by 2030. 1. Reduce membership fees by 30%. Membership of APNIC is due to increase by 20%. NRS strives to cut down the membership fees for all members by 30% throughout our 2-year term, and further undertake to not increase the membership fees. 2. Reaffirm community-led spirit with one world, one internet. Paul Wilson has signed a letter on behalf of APNIC with the Number Resource Organisation, NRO, in which there seems to be desperate attempts of seeking government control of RIRs by 1. Affiliating RIR with intergovernmental organisations, and 2. Seeking diplomatic immunity for the officials of RIRs to escape from community scrutiny, which the community firmly rejects. NRS strongly opposes the abandonment of community-driven process, which will lead to uncertainty and backroom deals, turning the internet into a place which only serves a few privileged people. The risks brought about by such a drastic change to the internet's ecosystem and stability are tremendous. Here at NRS, we deem it essential to reaffirm and preserve the community-led spirit of the internet, the very first human creation which is devoid of racial, gender, and geographical differences. To have an internet which is truly fair and transparent, one world, one internet, it is a must to let the decisions be made by the real stakeholders of the internet, the community, ISPs, telecoms, exchanges, and end users. 3. Being a strong voice for businesses. Be very receptive and willing to listen to the needs of businesses, because it's imperative, as this will encourage innovation, participation, and investment in the sector. It will also give business the assurance that RIRs work with and for them. We will be their voice and reflect on their needs. They are the backbone of the internet. Businesses thrive on certainty when policy is made, and certainty is what we strive to provide to businesses. We ensure that all businesses are treated equally. We will provide an environment that allows all businesses to thrive with minimal interference from APNIC by championing the free market and fair competition. 4. Restructuring APNIC operations. Restructuring operations and the way they are delivered enables quick decision-making and better coordination and communication among employees, resulting in enhanced productivity. Implement operations efficiency where needed and curb wasteful expenditure. This will be one of our top priorities. Ensuring the consecutive team. 5. Ensuring the executive team of APNIC are held accountable to members. The executive team is elected by members and works for members. To that extent, members should have the right to voice out their concerns if elected members or appointed officials are acting in bad faith or mala fide. We will introduce checks and balances robustly, where rules can be heavily scrutinized. We will also impose a time limit for elected officials, for instance, 3 consecutive terms. We endeavour to be transparent and allow criticism to be given constructively by our members. We will dismiss any member of staff found to be acting unlawfully or not in the best interest of members. We will accord whistleblowing protection to each and every member who reports to us of any wrongdoings or misdeeds perpetrated by other members and keep them safe and sound. We will ensure that APNIC treats all members equally, regardless of race or religion, sexuality or geographical location. 6. A free market where businesses are free to run unhindered. A free market is vital for businesses to run efficiently and unhindered. If governments run or get in control of RIRs, they'll most certainly encroach on the free market as governments strive to control with rules and regulations that stifle investment, innovations, and increase barriers to entry. APNIC and all RIRs should liberate themselves from any form of government control, as it will inevitably lead to higher barriers of entry and weed out competition. We will ensure that the principle of a free market is at the heart of APNIC. We will reconstruct and revamp APNIC's anti-competitive policies. We will ensure that APNIC represents all members equally. 7. Reincorporating APNIC with relocation to Singapore and make APNIC carbon neutral by 2030. By reincorporating APNIC to turn into a member-based organisation, we make sure every member is a stakeholder in APNIC's legal existence. So every member has rights to be part of its legal entity, and therefore the EC are merely exercising at the member's will. And by relocating to Singapore, we make APNIC closer to the majority of its member base in a fair and transparent legislation. The convenience of Singapore and its geographical accessibility make it an ideal place for relocation. Endorsed candidates. Lu Heng. Lu Heng is an industry's global pioneer whose true calling in life and mission is to help make the internet a better place for all. Lu believes that the internet is what unites the human race, irrespective of individuals' background. He's a strong advocate of an internet that is free, accountable, and most importantly, made accessible for all and by all. In addition to being the founder and CEO of Laris Limited, Lu established Laris Foundation, a not-for-profit organisation that aims to spread awareness on the internet governance all among the youth. That's back since 2019. Vivian Paris, experienced multicultural NGO leader, specialised in internet governance and social welfare. Vivian believes in the role and importance of NGOs as an indispensable pillar of the internet. She co-founded Laris Foundation, an NGO dedicated to internet governance for the youth, and she is a PTC Advisory Council member. Melvin Chang. Melvin is a business developer for 2 multinational IT companies, managing business planning, sales and marketing, and operations with an understanding of the IT industry. Melvin believes in transforming and supporting organizations by working through a bottom-up system of accountability where community members are involved in discussion and decision-making process. Larissa Santos. Business leader for the Asia Pacific community, Larissa Santos has lived and worked in Australia for nearly 10 years. Larissa is a highly experienced professional. Her creative way of thinking with experience across multiple sectors and industries has qualified her to be one of the most sought-after consultants. Sign up for more information and to meet your candidates at www.nrs.help/APNIC election.